Welcome to our Comp Plan Plus video. If you haven't seen our Comp Plan Basics video, I suggest you go watch Basics first and then come on to this video. Today we're going to touch on a few subjects that, well, essentially is diving deeper into our comp plan so you can really grasp it. Step one, we're going to speak about banked volume. Banked volume ties into binary pay and as well as that big keyword we've been using, which is active and binary qualified.
Active and binary qualified, yeah.
So when you're looking into binary pay, you look, week one. Every week we have a leg with more volume and a leg with less volume, and we're paid out on the leg with lesser volume. That's how binary pay works. Often we get the question, well, what happens with the other volume and the other leg? Do I not get paid on that? And that's what we want to talk about today.
It's those words again, active and binary qualified. Mm-hmm. And so we talked about this in the first segment about how important it was for duplication. But here, there's another real business reason that we want to be ABQ.
So how banked volume works, think of, for example, in your life. The average person saves money, puts into a savings account for a rainy day or unforeseen costs, right? That's how we kind of like to look at banked volume. It's this savings account of volume that you can accumulate as long as you stay active and binary qualified that can come to help you. And we'll show you how it helps. Week one, we're going to give you a little scenario. Week one, you're here. Your left leg, common leg, does 1,000 CV, and your right leg, personal leg, does 700 CV. In this scenario, if you are active and binary qualified, at the end of that week, Monday through Sunday, calculates end of the week, you're going to jump into amount banked. Right 0, left 300. How this was calculated was you were paid out on 700, 1,000 minus 700, you left over with 300 in that left leg.
Perfect.
That's how banked volume is calculated. Now, how is this beneficial? How can this help? That's our next step. Let's move forward to week two. In week two, you can see you did now, your common leg did 1,300 CV, and what was your personal leg did 1,500 CV. Now you can see that your personal leg jumped and actually became bigger than that common leg. In this scenario, pay leg is always, or the leg you're paid out on is always, which one has less volume.
Exactly.
So in this scenario, you're going to see that you would be paid out on 1,300 rather than 1,500 if banked volume didn't exist. What banked volume does, it comes in week two, it will look back to week one, it will see what you have here. Left has 300 CV banked in your savings account. So it will look at your left leg, it will see that you did 1,300, and what it's actually going to do is it reads as 1,600 CV. It does the 1,300 plus the 300, you're left with 1,600 CV. So guess what? Now you're paid out on 1,500 rather than that 1,300 for commissions.
Yeah.
And that's how it helps.
Yeah, and it does help because we were caught in that situation, Gavin.
That's right.
Where we used bank volume a couple of weeks to even out because, we had started a leg and then we kind of started this leg and it took off and did what this one here did, right? And so we had that bank volume, thank goodness, which again is a reason that you want to get active and binary qualified so that that bank volume does not flush.
Exactly. And it's really important to know as you stay active and binary qualified, this banked volume is going to keep growing, 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 or it's going to be being used, right? It's going to be growing or being used week to week, and it's there to make sure that you are maximizing the comp plan and being compensated as much as possible.
And I see 100 over here. And so what happened here?
Yeah, so great question right here. So now end of week two, because you had 300, this was reading as 1,600. It does 1,600 minus the 1,500 to make it right here. You're left with 100 CV. So going into week three, you start out with that 100 CV and banked. So in this scenario, you use some, and the next week it can grow, or you can use some, and that's how it is.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So that's bank volume.
Bank volume. Okay, so when you start out, we all hear qualifying volume, commissionable volume,
Right.
personal volume. You know, we get all these terms that we want to clear up today on this Comp Plan Plus video. So we're going to use our Jasmine Tau tea, our flagship product here at T-Bena, as our example. You can see we're going to break it down between cost, qualifying volume, commissionable volume, and how all those play into our comp plan. So we're going to take it, Jasmine Tau cost $39.99 for affiliates and $49.99 for customers.
Okay.
Each bag of tea, qualifying volume, gives us 40 QV. Each bag that's ordered, whether it's 1 or 30, it's
Perfect.
all the same. And breaking it down to commissionable volume, also known as CV, is 32. So as you can see, between purchase price and qualifying volume is 1 for 1. And between qualifying volume and commissionable volume, we split between 80-20. And how that plays in really is, how we help out is qualifying volume determines your rank.
Right.
So we actually determine rank based on total dollar amount.
That's awesome.
Purchase, which is huge. You don't see that everywhere.
No.
So, and then commissionable volume obviously is what gives us our commissions calculation. So you're going through, you're going to see between cost, qualifying volume, commissionable volume, you can see, okay, well, every dollar within my organization is going to lead to what rank, which is increasing my binary pay percentage, my level of binary check match going down,
Perfect.
purchase price, and then we run our commissions based on the 80-20. Now that we've learned what qualifying volume is and what commissionable volume is, we're going to see kind of how our commissionable volume plays into our binary tree.
Perfect.
So we have our commissionable volume. We can see auto ships or any reorders from customers as well. We take that commissionable volume for that order. 100% of it goes into the binary tree, either that right or left leg. And then first order bonuses, we take that and 30% of that CV is up into the tree. And why is that special? Why do you think, I mean, you've seen it happen in your organization.
It's really special because it helps build the binary tree, helps build that residual income very quickly. So think about it, Gavin. Every first order that goes into the company is paid out in 2 directions. One is the FOB, or the first order bonus, that's 20 to 50%. That's going to the sponsor, right? And then the second way is that 30% of the first order goes into the binary tree. This is another reason that you want to be ABQ or binary qualified. Because let's say, for example, that you are sponsoring someone on a diamond pack, okay? You're going to make your FOB on that, your first order bonus, but also $20 or $240 is going to go into the binary tree, and so you want to get paid on that.
Exactly.
And that's paid out. It stops on Sunday night, midnight Mountain Time. So very, very important.
Yeah, I mean, by Sunday to get binary and be active and binary qualified is huge, because on first order bonuses, like Betty mentioned, it's going 2 ways, meaning every first order bonus in the company is also feeding residuals. Okay, this next term, qualified binary legs. Now, the whole goal of this video is that you're watching this in the beginning, right? You're not going to be waiting a month or 2 months into being with T-Bena, so you can start off on the right foot. Starting off with the end in mind. And this is where qualified binary legs comes in. Now, as you can see in this chart for our ranks, as you go through T1, T2, T3, and T4, it's all about volume, being active, binary qualified, and volume in your pay leg.
That's perfect.
But when you hit this T5, there's an add-on. And this is why we want you to know this now, so we can start you off on the right foot. And this is how it works. When you're going to be going for the rank of T5, not only do you need to be active, binary qualified, but as well, you're going to need a personal enrollment in each leg that's qualified at the T4 rank.
Perfect. And, I see that often people will be concentrating on one leg rather than the other. And so they'll put maybe an $80 order or $80 an affiliate over here. And then they'll just put everything over here. Maybe this leg is larger for some reason. And then they get to T4, and then all at once they want to go to T5. And just like you said, they did not begin with the end in mind, and so they have to start over.
Yeah.
to build that new position.
Exactly. And this is the importance that you're watching this right now, is because when that happens, we don't want you to have such a hard time getting from that T4 to the T5. We want you going up in the ranks consistently. So starting off right, putting at least minimum one person in each leg that's going to be strong. We recommend, right, putting
a lot more than one in each leg.
Multiple, because you never know. And you're definitely going to need this going forward, because as the ranks go forward, now you want to go for T6. Well, these two positions need to be T5 and so on. So it's really important that you're not hoping just one person goes through and makes it, because you never know. So definitely put multiple.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Gavin, because you really can't tell from what somebody says or from what you think about what they've done in the past, whether they're going to do it here. Quite often, life gets in the way. Priorities change. And so you just really need to have multiple people here who can go to T4 each side. Now, the good news about this compensation plan is that we're not having to go out and build, in the end, a lot of 4, 5, 6, 7 leaders to reach your rank. Here, it's 2. It's 1 in each leg. So it's very doable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so our last topic for this Comp Plan Plus video is our 5-week rolling cycle. What's special with T-Bena is we pay weekly, but we're determining our rank on a 5-week cycle. And this is how it works. So in this scenario, let's say we're going for the rank of T4. T4, you need 5,000 pay leg qualifying volume, also known as PLQV, pay leg qualifying volume. So in this scenario, let's say right now, today, we're in week 5. How are we going to hit T4 is we need 5,000 in our pay leg QV. So what we do is we look back 4 full weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus our current week, which will end every Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard, and it will count it all up. In this scenario, we have 5,000 within our last 4 weeks, plus the current week, and we will hit the rank of T4. And that's how it works, yeah.
Perfect. I'd like to add just one thing here, because a lot of times people, by the time they approach the weekend, if they have been a T4, they will look back and they have that cumulative volume and they will have hit their number. They're a T4. And so they may think, okay, well, I'll just relax for the weekend and I'll start again fresh week on Monday.
Yeah, that does happen.
Not thinking that what you're doing now, okay, so let's say you're right here, and what you're doing now is going to carry out 4 more weeks to qualify you. Is that right?
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, if you want to look at that, that's a great point, Betty. If we're going to take this week 5, which we were, and put it over here, we take the same week 5, what you do in that week is going to be counted all the way to week 9. 1, 2, 3, 4 full weeks.
Perfect. And so then if you have, let's say you have a week in here that you only have $400, right? But you've had more here, then that's going to carry forward to qualify you.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's perfect.
Or let's say you're going and you're aiming for the next week to be, or the next 5 weeks to be a T5, right? Which takes more volume. It takes 10,000, right? And so the more volume you have early on, the more cumulative you have at the end.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly how it works.
Perfect. Thank you.
We have an amazing compensation plan, and thank you, Gavin, for making what looks at first glance to be complicated, like our eyes cross, and to simplify it for us and to do it visually. It's amazing. And for all of us, we have an amazingly rich compensation plan here. There's a lot of money in this plan if we work it right. What we saw when we looked at it was the ability to earn generational income and the ability, because we can't earn it if we can't provide it for the people that we bring in. And so that's what we have here, and it's a compensation plan that's second to none, powered by a product that everybody needs and nobody else has. So let's go get them.